Coming up on Being Rad.
It was very much that like rock star lifestyle kind of vibe.
Make a business out of your passion. I disagree with that.
They need videos as part of their business model.
Hello and welcome to Being Rad with me, Robert Alexander Duran. Today I have video marketing genius and bearded maestro, Graham Duval of Valued Productions. Graham, welcome.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate you having me on this morning.
It's an absolute pleasure. Just for anyone who has had COVID, who is listening and watching this, I'm just getting over it myself, and Graham had it a couple of weeks back. So hopefully there's a few people out there who can empathize with our situations.
Everybody stay safe. Stay safe, everybody.
How was it having COVID for the second time for you?
Oh, man. It was better than the first time. So the first time was brutal. Like, I don't even know what hit me. Felt like being hit by a truck. But the second time, like, it just felt like I had that headache, and it felt like I had a hangover for a week. And I was just tired, the headache, that like groggy feeling. And I'm tomorrow will be 6 years sober. And I just I think we were talking about this earlier. It's like, man, I am so glad that I am not doing that anymore. I can be laid up for a week with COVID feeling like that. But like what I was doing before, oh man, no way. So grateful.
I've just passed a year and 8 months totally sober. It's crazy that we did that to ourselves on purpose, right?
Yeah, for real. That's the thing. It's like, just like that thinking of like, oh man, this is gonna make things better. But then on the flip side, it just like completely like did not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I felt like, I don't know your situation. We can go into that in a moment.
Yeah.
But like for me, my adult life up until about 32 was just going from moment of being pissed, probably doing some work to earn some money, and then getting pissed again. Mm-hmm. And it got to a point during lockdown where I had the means to be able to drink all the time. And I was going through a 12-pack of IPA cans every night. And you get to that point, you're like, things need to change.
100%.
What was it like for you? Like, what led to you getting sober?
Oh man, yeah. So my background, I come from a music background, and so like I am a musician, and when I got into stuff, it was very much that like rock star lifestyle kind of vibe, just like stay up all night, party all the time, sex, drugs, rock and roll, you know what I mean? And it just got to a point because like I would always build myself up, and then I would mess up, and then it would go down, and then I would build myself up, and then it would go down. And so eventually, like you said, it got to a point where I looked around the crappy room that I was living in, like, shades pulled, crappy little apartment, just like, man, I could either keep doing this and go down this road, which is clearly going to lead me to like some sort of death or like hospitalization or something, or I can try something different. And, it was that little bit of willingness to try something different that was the thing that like sparked, getting into recovery and doing all the stuff that I needed to do to have that complete psychic shift that was like went from me needing to use and drink and all that stuff to like living a life of sobriety and gratitude and abundance and things like that. And it was a lot of work, but like it was just that little bit of willingness that like sparked it. It was like those old cartoons where you see the fuse, and it just like, you know what I mean? So it was just that little bit of willingness that sparked that, and then the fuse of recovery and going through everything, it totally shifted my life, and I'm so grateful for it.
So, having come from a musical background,
Yeah.
how entrenched in the culture was like the drinking? 'Cause
Oh,
I've come from the same, and like
yeah.
when I go out to see those old friends
Mm-hmm.
now, like I can't be around them that long
100%.
because they're just like, "Hey, why don't you have a drink?" I'm like, "I don't do that anymore," and they're like, "Oh, boring."
Yeah. Totally, man. For the longest time, thinking that using and like having things that didn't make me the real me, which would be like using drugs and alcohol, doing stuff to get outside myself, were the things that made me play better or like made things better. You know what I mean? And it was just like so ingrained in everything I did. And once I did get sober, like I'm a musician, I play the drums, been playing for like 25 years. That first like 6 months, I didn't touch the instrument. And like I was
Yeah.
starting to go like crazy because I was like, man, I haven't played. But every time I went to go sit down and play, I had that like association.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And so
the
I had to
neuro
like,
connection.
yeah, 100%. And so I had to work through that to like get back into the routine of like, this is almost like relearn it. But like once I did, the muscle memory came back. And like now living in that like moment, I can really take it to another level because when your mindset is in that like space of flow and like in the present moment, you can just like, the way of playing is absolutely amazing. And I'm grateful too. It's kind of funny that I was in a band, um, and it was a three-piece band. There was a trio, and all three of us. So I was the bassist was the first one. He got sober, and then it was me, and then the guitarist. And so now all three of us are sober, and it's crazy because like if you would have met us back in the day, like the stuff that we used to do, I tell you what, you never would have thought the three of us would have been sober. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool.
Did you find, and I want to just know if this was just me or
Yeah.
if this goes for other people as well. Did you find that you like fell in love
Mm.
with playing again and then actually was able to push yourself in terms of your playing capabilities? Because for me, I've been playing guitar 22 years, I think, this year.
Mm.
And
Nice.
throughout being a pisshead, I just took that for granted. It was like I'm a drinker and I play guitar, and that's just that.
Right. Right.
I've lost the drinking, and this year I was like, I've been playing a long time. I should probably push myself to learn something different, something that's actually going to show, give me something
Right.
to show for all the years that I've been playing. Did you
Right.
go through something similar as well?
100%. In that beginning, like it took almost a year to like practice things, because every time I sat down at the drum set, it was like I had to be in the right, like I had to almost prepare, you know what I mean? Like for the longest time when I was using and stuff, it was just like second nature and stuff. And I had to almost relearn and like you said, push myself to be in like a clear-headed mindset to sit down. Like the chops were there because my muscle memory obviously has been playing for so long, you know what I mean? So like that was all there, but it was that mind shift that like I had to prepare to be like, okay, separate this from that, you know what I mean? And
Wow.
like I would just practice, and eventually like it took me about that first year to like, be like, okay, this is way better because like I said, once you can let go and like go get into the moment and be present 100% without like stuff going on or without anything to cloud you, you can just, the flow and the feeling and what you can accomplish in music and in life is just absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. So tell me more about what you've achieved in life since being
Yeah.
sober, and tell me more about Value Productions. Did that come? Were you
Yeah.
running that before being sober, or has that come as a byproduct of sobriety?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So it's kind of as a byproduct. It's kind of funny. So like I said, I'm part of the music background, like been playing in bands and stuff like that, and got sober, and then was like, okay, I need to go to college. You know what I mean? And I'd never been to college. Like I thought it was like the thing that I wanted to accomplish it. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I'm going to go to college for music business, because I was like, okay, I got the playing side down. How am I going to monetize being a musician? So I went for music business. And while in school, I took some video production classes. I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston. And while there, I took some video production classes, and I fell back in love with video production, film production, because when I graduated high school back in 2004, I went to college for a semester for film studies. So like I already knew that I wanted to do video film stuff since back in high school. But then once I went to college that semester, I got into music and that whole sidetrack of like what I was talking about earlier. But so I fell back in love with video production. And when I graduated college, the curriculum, yes, was for music business, but music business is very similar to like a creative business. So a lot of the stuff that I learned was like how to run a creative business, and so when I graduated, it was either get a job in like the corporate music business of like get into music publishing or like something like that, being in the low end of the totem pole, or I could start my own business. And I had fell back in love in that passion of video production. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot, because like I have the opportunity, I was in a position where I was like, okay, I'm going to give this that first year, like see what happens in that first year, and it took off. And so now it's been amazing, So to answer your question, it was a byproduct of getting sober and like living a life of gratitude and, focusing on that now and being in the present and doing everything that's like right in front of me to just like move the needle forward, little bit at a time.
Amazing. So here's another parallel that I would like to know if it's there.
Yeah.
With playing guitar and music, I always saw that as that's my passion. And there's a lot of people online now who are like, make a business out of your passion. I disagree with that, because if I tried to push music as a profession in any way other than exactly as I wanted to do it, I wouldn't want to do it.
Right.
And I would have lost my passion. So
Totally.
Video production for me has always been that thing that I have keen interest in, that I can do well, but I'm not so emotionally entangled with it that I can have setbacks and it's like, I can still go home and play guitar to myself.
Right. I totally
Is that
get
something that you have felt as well, or is that just me?
No, I totally get that 100%. Like if I had the ability to like get paid the amount that I'm getting paid and like work on contracts at the level that I'm working on contracts for my video production company for playing drums, I'd be playing drums. I wouldn't be doing video production. But the effort and the music business today, it is so like cutthroat. And like you said, that like if I had to put that same effort into like making playing drums that heavy of a like job of like what I do, I agree. I would just like be like, man, this doesn't have that same emotional connection like you were talking about,
Right.
I still play in a band, I still play all the time, but like it's on my terms, you know what I mean? And yes, I do get paid to play, you know what I mean? I do get paid when we play shows and stuff, but like it's more of like, it's for fun. And that fun is the thing that allows the job of video production and having my own business and things like that to be that much more like fulfilling, because you have that balance of like being able to do what I love but make enough on this side to do what I love, you know what I mean? And it kind of has that balance out. So
That's the thing. If
I totally agree.
if you were playing, well, getting paid what you're doing in the video production side of things, if you were getting paid that to, I assume you don't play gospel drums. Would you want to be doing that? You know, like,
Yeah. I mean, if I had a gig consistently to play drums, like live or whatever, and it paid as much as what I'm making for the video production, I would do that. But
does that go? Here's my question: would that go across all genres?
oh,
Because in growing up, it was like I have to either be playing punk or
yes,
metal, but not too technical because I'm not that good.
I see what you're saying.
I couldn't be there playing like jazz guitar
Yeah.
or pop.
So
It would have ruined it for me.
yeah, I hear what you're saying. So like for me, it would have to be the music that I want to play. Like
Yeah.
I'm a big jazz improvisational style musician. So like I love playing in like stuff where you get to embody the moment. Like this
Yeah.
music wouldn't have happened if we weren't doing what we're doing right at this second. So like if it was anything else, I wouldn't want to do it. You know what I mean? It would become a job, you know, and then
Yeah.
it would lose that like whatever, you know, and I'm grateful to have the ability to have both sides of like enjoying my passion but make enough on, which I'm also very passionate about video production too, you know, because it still is a creative business, you know, like it taps in that creativity side of life. And so I'm glad it's not like being a plumber. Not that there's anything wrong with like that. It's just not my thing, you know.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm a creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also what I was getting at with there is like, I wouldn't have been able to play any genre of music and enjoy it, but I have been able to work on many different video projects that I might not really want to do, but I can still enjoy it in a way that I wouldn't have been able to do with music.
100%.
So tell me more about what you're doing in terms of the video production side of
Yeah.
things. Who are you working with? What kind of projects are you doing? Are you in a genre that you love?
That's yeah. No, I love all of what I do. So my company, we help to provide and distribute video marketing strategies that can either, you know, help increase sales, save time, and essentially work to make these businesses more successful. And so I was doing a lot of like a lot more high production value stuff, you know, the brand films and testimonials, and I still have a few clients that are like that because I had gotten them, you know, a little while ago. But I've really shifted, and I think this is one of the things that, you know, is great about talking about this is the fact that we live in a world today where social media is such a key piece for a growing business. And to harness that power of social media with the fact that all the major ones like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you know, they all want that vertical video that's, you know, high quality, high valuable, things like that. And so if you can post one video across all those major socials, that is a lot of eyeballs for these businesses that, for the price of what it is to get that kind of reach, is like, you know what I mean, is so worth it for them. Because compared to like back in the day when you would have to do that for like television, like the amount of people that you could reach for that price, it's so astronomical. And so we've shifted a lot into doing short form videos for clients, and that's what I do a lot of. Like I said, I still have some that I do the whole like sales trifecta type stuff, but we've really shifted into short form content and really honing in on that. And so some of the clients that I have, like, it really runs the gamut. You know what I mean? From high quality, high end bed and breakfast to retail store to a payroll company to health insurance. You know, it really runs the gamut. But lately, we've just launched a new offer, and we're really honing in on targeting more of those online business owners. So like that's what I'm super excited about, is to start targeting those online business owners because of that power of social media.
And because they're able to scale a lot more, and that reach then really comes into its own, doesn't it?
100%. The reach for especially like an online coach or an online consultant or something like that, where they need videos as part of their business model, you know what I mean? And like need that marketing of their reach as part of their business model. It lends itself to someone like myself to be able to come in and help with that, you know? Whereas like, for example, a local retail shop, yes, having consistent short form videos on their socials daily is beneficial. It doesn't have that same impact as someone who can target the whole internet, through social media.
Unless they're going to be one of those kind of places that blow up online and then become a tourist attraction, essentially.
Sure.
But how many of those
that is a good point.
Are there?
Yeah, there's not many. And I mean, the bed and breakfast, I will say, I am trying to push. They're still kind of stuck in that. It's a little bit. I don't want to say pulling teeth, but it's like that almost. You know what I mean? Getting them to be like, come on, we need to be posting these consistently. You know, because of the fact that it is a bed and breakfast, and that can have an offer that's online. Because like, if you're posting videos online and someone in California sees it, that's a good thing, because now they can come visit that bed and breakfast, you know what I mean? Yeah. As like a trip, you know, whereas like a physical retail location that like sells clothes or something, that's a little bit more difficult, because, you know, yes, videos are going to help consistently on their social media. I mean, it helps everybody, but it doesn't have that same impact of like, no one's going to travel from, so I'm in Maine right now. So no one's going to travel from California to Maine to buy a pair of clothes. You know what I mean?
Unless it's something really special. Like
that
when
is
you get
true.
those kind of artisanal bakeries or something like that, where they're known across the world, or at least across the country, for a very certain thing. If it's just like your local Pennies, we call that Primark here.
Right.
If it's that broad, it's not going to have that impact that you're talking about.
100%. And you bring up a good point with that, though, because like it just kind of made me reshift my thinking on that, because, you know, when you're posting consistent short form videos, you have that ability to build that brand, build that tribe. And even if it is that local thing, if you develop the messaging and the offer and like all this stuff that goes behind a brand and post it consistently, you could have the ability to make it, like you said, that visual, artisanal, or like something that sets it apart, you know, from everything else, and blow up online. And then it has that ability. It may not like directly correlate to in the location, but it will have an effect of helping it grow. So yeah, that's a very good point.
100%. There's a bakery local to me, just a couple of miles down the road.
Yep.
And their online presence has won them awards for like the last 5 years. I've not actually been in there, so I don't want to like say anything about what it's like.
Yeah.
My girlfriend visited it recently though, and apparently the inside is awful. It's like a proper
Really?
dive, which just shows that like you can really build that brand and kind of community online who are going to support you,
100%.
even if you're lacking in the physical location, which is an interesting
Totally.
juxtaposition.
That is interesting, you know, and like it just goes to, I think that is very interesting, because you definitely want to like show that authenticity, and like, you know, especially when you're building the brand and like that community. I guess it's tough to say on something like that though too, because like maybe that's their vibe, you know what I mean? Because there's like, you know, you've got those dive bars or those places that are like geared towards that kind of like dingy, like
I'm having PTSD from my early 20s.
Totally. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's definitely, it's so important. And a lot of what I've been doing lately is educating these businesses on this exact thing, you know, because like it's still not completely widely accepted. You know what I mean? It's like, guys, you can get a reach of like 30, 50,000 people across all your social medias. And that's on the low end visibility to your business, and you're still going out and buying like television commercials and like radio commercials and things like that. Double down on your socials and grow your brand that way through building a community, offering value, and really connecting with your audience. It's got much more of an impact. And so, you know, through my own socials, and like I'm actually working with my local chamber right now to put together like a lunch and learn to teach some of these local businesses about like the fact that like, look, we live in the digital age. This is the stuff you should be doing. And hopefully, you know, I'm going to teach them a little bit how to do it. And then hopefully they'll be like, this is way too much work. And then they're going to give me a call.
How do you feel these businesses react to the word algorithm? Because
oh man,
everyone seems to feel like the algorithm is out to get them. But you brought up TV ads there. There is no algorithm with TV ads. They're not targeted, other than the channel that you put them on.
100%.
So the targeting is minimal at best.
Minimal.
Whereas the algorithm is what allows you to connect with people who are in your target audience,
100%.
as long as you've got your offer and your messaging down. So how have you dealt with that sort of conversation when talking to these businesses?
No, that's a great question. You know, people like, there's actually a client that I'm working with right now who's been asking me the same thing. He's like, so we've been posting for like a month and like I'm not seeing results, and like it, you know, I'm seeing minimal engagement on my videos and stuff like that. The algorithm and like having that message is key, because that's going to be the thing that's targeted, unless you're running paid ads where you can actually like physically target someone. If you're posting just organic content, your messaging, like you said, and building of the community through the what's in the content is going to be the thing that targets. And so using that, it comes with consistency, and it's definitely more of the long game. And so like when someone brings up algorithm of like, oh, why am I not seeing this and all this stuff, I bring it back to the fact that like, look, this is a long game, and you need to be doing this consistently for an extended period of time, at least 90 days every day, you know, like at the very bare minimum. And that's when that algorithm is going to start to see like, oh, okay, this page is actually producing something that people want to see. Like maybe I should start pushing these videos to more people. You know what I mean? And so that's how I communicate it. It's like, look, you need to teach this thing that like your content is something worth pushing and that the people in your audience want to be seeing it. And so it comes with that consistency. And that's how I tend to kind of steer that direction.
So kind of more to do with expectation management.
Yeah, 100%.
What's the craziest expectation that you've had from a client? Have you had anyone that has not gone viral in a week and then dropped you?
Yeah, so I feel like I've done pretty well with managing the expectations in that because I convey to the fact that like my Instagram, for example, I have like maybe like 1,400 followers or something like that. And I'm not crazy amount of followers on my business, but because of what I do, even my videos don't always even get like crazy virality or whatever, but I've built in a core like group of people that are behind me, and I've been able to close deals off my Instagram because of that fact. And I don't have to have 50,000 followers. You know what I mean? So being able to convey that to a client is key. And so like I think the biggest thing of like something that I had a client that was like really looking for was I had a client recently that did drop me that like he called me, it was a construction guy. He called me up and like he was expecting to get some filming done the next day, and luckily I was able to do it. But then like when I started doing my like questionnaires and things to try to pull that creativity out of him, because obviously I can only talk about someone else's business to a certain extent without getting them to talk about it themselves. You know what I mean? And so as I started like doing that, he thought that I needed him to do my job for me. You know what I mean? He's like, "You don't understand my business." I'm like, "I know. I only understand it to a certain level. I need you to talk about it because it's your business. It's your passion." You know what I mean? And so he wasn't too pleased with that and was like, "I don't know why I'm paying this for someone who I need to do their job for them." And he ended up dropping me. But that's probably the extent of like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, like we didn't even have a chance to have a creative meeting before you even were saying like, I didn't understand your business. The point of me bringing up different ideas or probing questions or all this stuff is to get that information so that I can then go do what I do. You know what I mean? It's not that I want you to do what I do for me. You know what I mean?
I think that might just have been kind of the construction background vibe.
100%.
I've worked with a couple of people in construction.
Yeah.
They're very a lot more black and white, aren't they? It's not creative, because creativity realistically is a grey area. It's subjective.
100%.
Whereas people in construction, it's like profit, bricks.
Yep. Exactly.
Black, white.
3 inches, 5 inches, goes here, goes there. You know what I mean? I totally get it.
And if they're going to be like that, then that's their loss.
Exactly.
I feel a better place with other people that understand.
100%. 100%. Because I told him, I'm like, you gonna. He was talking about building a brand, and I'm like, you know, you want to build a brand, you got to be posting consistently and stuff. And he's like, well, I usually only like to post like one reel from each job. I'm like, okay, that isn't gonna get you anywhere. But like, I'm not trying to bash anything. I love the guy. You know, it's to each their own. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's their loss. Like you don't want to jump on this bandwagon, especially here in Maine. Like we tend to be a little bit behind in like everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like as like the better marketing trends and like new upcoming like things, like that's why I spend a lot of time educating business owners, because like it's like the people around here don't get it, and so I have to constantly be like, look, this is the new way of doing business. You need to get online. You need to do this. You need to do that. You know what I mean? So like,
so it's kind of like updating them from living in 2005 or so.
Yeah.
I guess they're past the point of Windows XP, but not
Right.
by a lot, right?
100%. 100%. And then that goes back to the same thing that we were talking about earlier, where the fact that, like, okay, that's all me working in Maine, in the area, and that's why I, as a business, have shifted more of my focus to that online space and being able to, like, target more of those online business owners, because of the fact that, I don't have to spend all that energy educating, because they know that, like, they're already online. You know what I mean? They're already doing, exactly. You know what I mean? So
amazing. Final question, Graham.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need a part 2 to this, and I keep saying that, but I've had some great guests already, and I'd love to have you back.
Yeah, definitely.
Final question, though. What do you do to look after that incredible beard of yours?
That's a great question.
Before you answer, little background to this. I was saying to Graham before we jumped on, I turned 34 in a matter of weeks now, and this is all I can do, really. I've been using minoxidil and taking biotin, and I still haven't finished puberty, apparently. And Graham here has a magnificent beard, and I want to know what kind of maintenance that takes.
Yeah, no, it definitely is rough sometimes, and it's funny. You mentioned, I'm definitely going to bring up the beard. We're almost at the end of the podcast, and the whole time I'm like, when is he going to ask me that question? And then he finally asked it. But yeah, I mean, this is like 2 years old, so I've been growing it for about 2 years, and I use
me too,
like different different beard oils are key. I have this one that I like. It's funny enough. It's I get it at Walmart, and it's Amish, like beard oil. It's called the Original, and it's an Amish, like, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it says Amish, the Original beard oil.
You've got too much mustache to be Amish, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I could trim it, but I don't know. Their beard oil is great, and it, that's what's key. And then I just gotta trim the edges, and but yeah, it's a little bit of a maintenance, but also on the same time, it's not nearly as much maintenance as when I shave, because then I have to shave every day, because if I don't, my hair grows really fast. So it's like, it's just easier to just not do anything,
I can't wait till the day where I have to shave every day. Literally, I'm pretty lazy.
Yeah,
I will admit that, but I shave like once a week.
Man, that would be that would be nice. That would be nice. If I shaved this thing and I shaved once a week, I'd have a beard by the time I'm shaving that one time. You know what I mean? So
are you like Homer Simpson? Do you remember that, where he'd have a shave and it'd just go and he'd have the 5 o'clock shadow instantly?
Yeah, pretty much.
Amazing. Graham, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a great conversation. Can you let people listening and watching know where to find you, and where details of your offer is, etc.?
100%. So I am on all the major social platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at Valued Productions, VALUD Productions, all one word. And then my website, same thing, valuedproductions.com. You can get in contact with me. I'd love to chat with anybody. If you want to just have a conversation, it's graham@valuedproductions.com. So hit me up, shoot me on socials, come follow. Robert, I appreciate you having me. This has been absolutely wonderful. I love talking, video production, life, this has been absolutely wonderful. I appreciate you.
And I appreciate you. This has been fun. So thank you very much, Graham. And for you watching and listening at home, keep being rad.